believers. We're underdogs and overachievers, but like the clothes fit star together, no one can beat us. It's getting heated, all my energy's been depleted. I leave it all out on the floor because we need it. Rising to the occasion, we go in with guns ablazing, because we all know that it's ours to go and get for the taking. History making, high risk and high stakes. Where the winner takes all that he can take. No breaks, we only go hard, no taking off. Either giving to the swift or the strong, never the soft, not taking a loss, because we only come to win. And right after this, we coming back to do it all again. We gonna make it, even though we had our back to the ground. We building back up and we gon' be around. Yeah, it took some time to figure it out. Somehow, it's like we gonna make it.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Worldwide Lakers Talk Live, but this is going to be a slightly different episode because we not only talking Lakers. I know usually we only talk Lakers, but I figured since it's the playoffs, we would do a full playoff preview show. Hopefully a little later we'll have some other fans joining us so we could dive in together and talk about the full playoff picture. But first, ladies and gentlemen, we are not in the play-in. It feels so good to not be in the play-in. It feels so good for us to not have that mad dash and have nerves. Like, we had nerves at the last few years. You just nervous.
Yeah, man.
The play-in game, one game, anything goes. You depending on so many other factors to even get into the playoffs. We didn't have to deal with that this year. And we were rewarded heavily by landing the third seed. Actually, a game early, 50-win season, which we haven't had in a minute. Since Vogel?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 50-win season we haven't had since Vogel. So, it feels good going into this playoff. We got a little momentum. I think we had either one of or the best record since January of 16-6 or something like that. Been playing really well at home. I know a lot of people was afraid of smoke, talking about I don't want to play this team. I don't want to play. I don't care. I feel like we're gonna be hard to beat in 7 games by anybody. Give me your thoughts, Q.
Yeah, my thing was, I think you're gonna have a hard first round anyway. I mean, at least out west, all these first rounds, because all these teams are so really close together. I mean, Memphis is not gonna be an easy out. Golden State not an easy out. Lakers not an easy out. Houston, Clippers, Nuggets, who are you ducking and trying to get? Either way,
Right.
You was gonna get somebody that was gonna be a hard out. I just wanted to make sure we was healthy. That's the thing, because normally in these playoffs, it's the team that's the most healthiest that come out on top, and we've seen that year after year. So my thing was just get through these games healthy, and us having a week off for, we got the oldest player in the league to get some rest, and other guys like Rui is nursing injuries here and there, the knick-knack injury. So that the week off was really important for the Lakers. So I didn't care who we play. I just wanted to be healthy and get the rest.
And we are fairly healthy. You know what I mean? We got most of our main rotation players are here. They're healthy. Like we say, everybody's dinged up. Nobody's 100%, at the end of the season, but we're fairly healthy. And I think the biggest thing besides LeBron this week off can help Rui with that knee, man. You can tell Rui hasn't had a lot of lift since he had those knee problems. And he said he was about at 80%. So I think this week off can probably get him around maybe 90%, get him through the playoffs with a good run. What are some of the issues you foresee with the Lakers playing the Wolves? What does that matchup look like to you?
Well, they size. They are the few teams in the league that actually play big. And even when they go small, they still big because they bring in Nas Reed, who is 6'9". They still have Julius Randle 6'9". Jaden McDaniels 6'9". Ant is 6'6", and then Mike Conley is 6'1", but they go big. So even when they go small, they still big. So it's gonna be really crucial that our guys team rebound. that we can't rely on one person to just grab boards for us because they are a much bigger team than us. So that's and then I don't know if people paid attention. I think Ant is like number 2 or 1 in 3 points made.
Yeah, he was number
Yeah,
one. He was the last
yeah,
game. He
yeah,
ended up being
yeah.
number.
So um, the fact that he has added 3 point shot to his game um, is he's going to be a hard matchup regardless. I mean, I know people brought up he only averaged 19 points against the Lakers this season, but that's playoffs a whole different beast.
Whole different beast.
When you got to just like we have a week to focus and strategize on them, they got the same time period to focus and strategize on us. So I really think their size is going to probably be the biggest issue uh, for the Lakers.
Yeah, especially when it kind of rebounding. Because I think to me, and tell me if you agree, I feel like that could probably be like our only real weakness to me is overall rebounding.
Yeah,
Especially,
yeah,
you see games like where, especially when Jackson Hayes goes out, you know, they
yeah.
have to do a good job of trying to body the big man out to at least box out. I have watched them make an effort, like a concerted effort to do that.
Well, Rui and LeBron are pretty strong. But although they're short, they're
Yeah,
strong as hell.
yeah,
So
they be
that's how we've
moving.
been able to get away with playing them against Jokic and Sengun and Zubac and a couple because Rui and LeBron are strong as hell. But you
Yeah,
still, because like I said, they'll sub Julius Randle out of bringing Nas Reed. So they stay big. So
yeah,
it's going to be really important. And then, guys with length give Austin Reeves problems.
yeah,
So it's, if they put Jaden McDaniels on Austin Reeves, then, it's that those guys tend to give Austin Reeves issues. Guys with length, with quick feet, fast
yeah.
hands.
What up, E Bible? Tell me what you think of this first round matchup, Eric. Yeah, and Mike Conley is one of those underrated point guards, man. Who I think he's really, really smart. He's really good in the playoffs. He tends to make the right play. He does the things you need on the defensive end. The backcourt will be what? Jay McDaniels, Conley, and Edwards.
Yeah, they backcourt is Mike
Outside of
Conley.
Conley, that's some speed.
That is Edwards and Mike Conley, and then Jaden Davis play small forward. And then it's Julius Randle, and then Rudy Gobert. So
Yeah. So we're gonna be dealing with a lengthy team with some good defensive pieces. Rudy Gobert is known as a great defensive player. So we'll see how they try to find a way to neutralize him. Probably have Luka bring him out on that perimeter.
yeah, like
Barbecue chicken. That's what you're gonna have to do.
well, against them, our offense gonna have to be our defense because I don't know how Minnesota is going to do their matchups. I know against Dallas they did a lot of cross matching,
Yeah.
but that left Luka and Kyrie averaged 30 in that series because then Jaden McDaniels is their best perimeter defender, and Ant is a pretty good defender himself. So but the problem is Dallas made Mike Conley and Rudy Gobert defense liabilities. So they to the point they played Rudy off the court.
Yeah.
They was hesitant to put him in the end of game. So I think the Lakers probably gonna do the same thing because if you put Jay McDaniel on Luka and you have Ant on Austin Reeves, then that put Mike Conley on Rui, and Rui would take advantage of matchups.
Yeah, he will. Yeah.
Memphis tried that a few years ago in the playoffs, and they paid for it, trying to hide John Morant on Rui, and they paid the price for that.
Eric Bible said, feel like the Lakers need to focus on the defensive end first, just like you said, Q. Let offense come from steals and rebounds, which will translate to easy buckets. I'm not mad at that analysis. Like you said, the offense got to come from their defense.
Yeah, but in the playoff ain't that many fast breaks. Teams don't fast break that much.
Yeah, a lot of people fall into that. You got to play that half court.
Mm-hmm.
You got to fall into that half court.
Yeah,
I think we do a good job. We've done a good job of our half court game is pretty damn good.
Oh yeah.
So they fast break team.
Like I said, the Lakers small lineup, I think they are plus 22. That's the Rui, Derek Finney-Smith, LeBron, Luka, and Austin Reeves. That's a small lineup, but it's really not a small lineup. It's like 6'9", 6'9", 6'7", 6'7", 6'5". So it's a small lineup for what we normally would use in the past, but there's still a lot of size out there, especially on the perimeter. So, like I said, it makes them have to decide who they're gonna put Mike Conley. So
now, if you think, I think we know most teams are going to try to hunt out Luka Doncic on the defensive end. What do you think we do to scheme for that, and how do you think we handle that?
When you put him on Jaden McDaniels, he shoot like 32% from three. And I think they said like when it's contested, he shoot like 28% from three. And when he wide open, he shoot 32% from three. So that's who Luka needs to be guarding. Jaden McDaniels.
We just bought a Clipper fan in. We bought Daniel and my brother Daniel's coming in to talk about the playoffs with us. But he just so y'all know he's a Clipper fan. I'm pissed at him because their stadium is dope as hell. I can't even front.
but yeah, you put Luka on Jaden McDaniels. He's no threat from the perimeter. And he's not known to really create a shot, and his 3-point shooting is below average. So,
yeah. So you put Luka on Jay, they're probably gonna try to hunt him out with screens.
Yeah, but what the Lakers have done, like their defensive scheme, is people who don't normally shoot threes, they have allowed to say, okay, he might hit a couple in the beginning of the game, but can they sustain it? You remember that's kind of what we did to Denver. That's what they did to the Rockets.
Yeah.
They tend to, okay, we're going to let such and such, he might go 3 for 3 in the first quarter, but can he sustain this level of 3-point shooting? So you're going to see a lot of open shots for 3 for Jaden McDaniels and probably Julius Randle.
You know, Julius love to try to.
Yeah. Like I really hope Julius Randle make his first 3.
Because he ain't going to stop shooting them.
He ain't going to stop shooting. He make the first 2 threes, keep shooting them up. That's exactly what we want you to do. It's like Draymond. When Draymond make his first 3, you're like, yes.
Yep, because he's gonna shoot them the whole game.
Because he's gonna keep shooting.
He's gonna keep shooting them.
But yeah, in the end, I think it's gonna be a tough matchup because, like I said, they big, they're athletic, they rebound, but I think that they have nobody for Luka, and that showed last year when they played them in the Western Conference Finals. Had nobody for him, and the fact that normally teams is like, okay, who you put on LeBron, blah blah blah, and they probably more focused on Luka. So it's really going to be. I wouldn't be surprised if Austin Reeves really have a big series. Yeah, because he's going to be the forgotten man.
Well, like I've been saying since Luka came here, I don't think in his whole career seen LeBron play this much one-on-one ball. Get this many easy dives down the, maybe close playing with Kyrie, but it still wasn't even like this because
well, he was still
got double with Kyrie.
He was still 28-27, so he still wanted the bulk, of the load of running the offense. He don't want that shit no more. He'd be burning out. Yeah. So. And it's going to be a tough matchup, but I think the Lakers win it in 6. I know everybody like the Lakers in 5, but I got them in 6.
Yeah, I think it'll take 6 games. Mike Conley gonna get cooked. I don't know, man. Conley be doing for some reason. Conley get amazing in the playoffs.
He does, but you can't let them hide him like Dallas did, and they try to hide him with Kyrie.
Yeah,
that was all bad last. Kyrie, like I said here, everybody because Luka averaged 33, but Kyrie averaged 30.
yeah.
So that's why I said if what I'm thinking is they're gonna put Mike Conley on Austin Reeves, and I think Austin gonna cook him.
Yeah, it should be a good matchup.
Yeah, I got the Lakers in 6 though.
Can you hear audio now, Daniel?
Yeah, I don't know what was going on.
All right. So tell us what you think about the Lakers Timberwolves matchup. What you see from the outside looking in.
From the outside looking in, I would say that the Lakers just has to hope that Ant ain't hitting his threes. Because once he starts hitting his threes, he's hitting. You've seen the 3 that he hit the other game where he had 2 people on him. He turned around, did a fadeaway, like not even looking at the basket and hit a 3. I was like, what are you supposed to do with that? But the thing about him is he's fallen in love with the 3. So if that's how he plays, like you have to hope he plays like that because there's nobody in the league that can stay in front of him because his first step is crazy. So
I'll just say the crazy thing is I think he's more dangerous when he's going to the basket than when he
no,
shoots.
he is because nobody can stop him from getting to the basket.
What he shot he made 300. He made 319 threes this season, so he made more threes than Steph Curry this season.
Yeah, but he also I think attempted like 13, 14, 15 threes a game, which for him, like what Ant-Man is doing now reminds me of when they asked Michael Jordan when he was playing why he don't like to shoot threes. He said, because if I see a couple go in or whatever, he said, if I see a couple go, I might fall in love with the 3. And then I'm shooting threes, but then that's taken away from everything else that I do in basketball. So I'd rather just do all of this instead of like becoming a 3-point shooter. So Ant, like I said, Ant going to the rim, I haven't seen anybody in the league that's been able to stop him from getting to the rim. But for some reason, he just fallen in love with the 3. So if he's just out there on the perimeter, I think it'll make for much. I don't think the series would be that difficult if he continues to play that way. Because again, when he shoots threes, he's basically bailing out the defense. Every 3 he takes, he's bailing out the defense.
Or it could kind of be like a Kobe situation. Kobe used to shoot more threes in the regular season to preserve his body for the playoffs. And then when it came playoff time, he was like, okay, I'll go to the basket more. And it was less 3-point shooting because he didn't want to. He got tired of getting hurt in January and February trying to dunk on people. So he shot. He shot more. He shot more threes in the regular season. Then come playoff time, that was when he was way more aggressive going to the rack. So because Ant could just be tired. Yeah, but
I don't think he's ever been like hurt where he's like missed a ton of time. And on the flip side, I mean, no disrespect, but I don't think he has the basketball IQ to be going like that. Because again, he's had times where they needed a bucket in regular season or not. Like when it's money time, you do what you do, you get a bucket. Like get to your spot, get to what you do. And another thing, I think, even though he's been in the league as long as he's been in the league, I still don't know like I don't know where his spots are. Like he don't have, from me watching him, like I don't see like, is it a ghost in the back? Speed.
Netflix, cake mix, pickup sticks, clips in 6. You know what?
But you know what I mean? Like Kobe had like Kobe mid post, like cats had their spots. Like with him, it just seemed like he out there just playing pickup ball a lot of the time.
Well, I think that's what make him scary, actually, though. Like, cause the nigga can kind of hit from anywhere. He's 3-pointer. He can hit you from 15 feet. Then he can get to the basket. I think the only
Yeah.
thing I've seen him really have consistently is like a floater, which
Yeah.
Well, he also don't like double teams. So because he don't like to be double teamed, which I can't believe he came out and said, I would never. You keep that shit to yourself. Because the moment he started doing it, teams started doubling him, and then he started shooting from the outside more because he didn't like. He came out and said that he didn't like to be double teamed. So, I tell you the truth, I think the Lakers will live with it. It's you just can't let like Julius Randle go.
Yeah.
Which like I said, one thing about Julius Randle, you want him to make a couple in the beginning because he won't pass it.
No,
Julius ain't the one you need to worry about. I'm gonna tell you the guy that turned into goddamn Michael Jordan Jr. whenever he plays certain teams is Nicholas Alexander Walker.
Yeah, he's a good shooter.
So like every time he played the Clippers, I'm like, hey, he ain't got that.
He's a pretty good shooter. He's one of the good 3-and-D guys.
Yeah, but I'm saying like he be hitting everything. He hitting turnaround fadeaways from the free throw line, contested threes. That's another thing. Like the contested, like I don't know what certain teams for some reason just turned into the 2016 Golden State Warriors sometimes. And I know Minnesota is usually like that when they play the Clippers. So I'm talking about what's the big kid that played Jay McDaniels? He making contested threes.
And he shoot like 30% from 3 on the season.
Yeah, and I'm like, dude, ain't no way you're making this shot. Like, bro, you can't. He can't even shoot like that. But I'm telling it just hope. Again, hope Ant-Man just stays on the perimeter and live. And basically live by the three, and then just hope the role players don't turn into Steph Curry. Because Rudy Gobert, you can scheme him off the court, but it also you can scheme him off the court, but also the Lakers have to make sure that he can't be under the basket for like offensive rebounds.
The person that normally killed the Lakers when we played Minnesota's Nas Reed. I mean, that's when we had AD at. For some reason, like this nigga would go against AD and become got 30, 12, and 6 and 6 for 6 from 3 all of a sudden.
Yeah,
but
he turned into Dirk Nowitzki against the Clippers.
Yeah, I'm looking at they 3-point percentage. Anthony Edwards is 40% from 3. Julius Randle 34%. Nas Reed 37%. McDaniels is 33%. What's his name? I can't say it. Dante Danfacino he's 40%. Nickel Alexander Walker is 38%. Mike Conley is 41%.
They take a lot of threes. So
yeah, so when Julius Randle and McDaniel on the court, that's who you want to double off of. Everybody else, you double off them, you probably gonna get scored on.
I think like I said, it's gonna a lot of this is gonna depend on a lot of this series is gonna depend on like the matchups as far as like like the adjustments that will have to be made in game, between games. Because honestly, if I'm Minnesota, I'm starting Nas Reed. And not starting out with not starting out with Rudy Gobert at center, because on the perimeter, Rudy is a liability if you're getting switched onto a perimeter play.
I think Rudy started, but Nas Reed probably finished the games. I think they probably learned their lesson having Rudy finish games from last year against Dallas, where he pretty much got cooked.
I mean, but that's the thing though. I think if you start him, if you start him and he's ineffective, because the thing is, if Rudy Gobert isn't at the basket trying to contest shots, the dude is pretty much useless on defense. If you pull him away from the basket and make him have to guard, like Luka's gonna try to get a switch with Gobert basically every single time down the court. So if you do that and he's out there getting cooked, you already in the deficit. So I wouldn't even start him because I already know if he doesn't stay at the rim, he's like Rudy Gobert is just not a great defender outside of being in the middle. So if you pull him, he's like I said, he is nothing he can do out there that can make up um um for being getting a switch and having like a Luca or AR or LeBron on him because he don't his feet is not quick enough to even uh, uh prevent them from they'll just go right by him or move, step back, three, whatever the case may be. But he's not good if he's not able to protect the rim.
I see Speed jumped on with his speed. Tell me what you see for the Lakers Timberwolves matchup.
Uh, to me, honestly, well, Minnesota been playing good lately, but I just don't. I don't see enough, man. I don't. Rondo, he too inconsistent. It looked like it. Pretty much, Anthony is going to be doing everything for him, dog. And I just don't see him beating the Lakers. I see an easy road to the Western Conference Finals. To tell you the truth, for the Lakers, if they get Houston too in the second round, they get Golden State. It might be a little harder, but I don't see nothing coming from Minnesota.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on to this Clipper matchup since we got some Clipper fans on. From the outside looking in, y'all got Denver. I feel like the only thing y'all have to worry about to me is not having home court. Denver has not been playing well as of late. Denver, they fired their coach. They seem like they kind of in shambles. They guys been hurt in and out of the lineup. They don't have that dog that they had on those championship teams. I just don't see that, last 3 years, that invincibility where it looked like they was unbeatable. I don't see that.
Well, they lost way too many extremely important role players and didn't replace them with adequate players because you can't lose a KCP who's a 3-and-D guy at least at that time.
Trust me, Laker fans know that.
You're you can't lose him because I think they lost him and then the next year they came back with Bruce Brown, which again he's smaller, but he's a guy that can fill that role as 3-and-D. But then when you lose KCP, Bruce Brown, but then you're trying to replace them with Peyton Watson and Christian Brown, even though Christian Brown is a good player, he's not bringing exactly what. And again, you got to bring exactly what they brought, but you have to at least be either a reliable outside shooter at all times when you get the ball, or you got to be out there making life hell for players on defense. And
Well, they do got their starting five, dog. They got their starting five together. Just a matter of how healthy they're gonna be.
But also in this series is Kawhi didn't play not one game against Denver in the regular season. And the thing about that matchup is the only person that they can feasibly put on Kawhi is Aaron Gordon. But Aaron Gordon is the Nuggets low man. Because we all know Jokic is, as far as defense and rim protection, that's just non-existent. So Aaron Gordon would be there to help and clean up a lot of stuff at the rim, backside, help defense, blocks, whatever the case may be. You pull Aaron Gordon away from the low man section, and the thing that Denver has been getting killed on a lot this year is closeouts. So if you got Aaron Gordon on Kawhi. You're taking the low man from Denver. And then you have to have, like, I think Christian Brown's checking James Harden, which leaves like Jamal Murray on Norman Powell. And then you take the low man out, then you still have Zoo. And also Russell Westbrook is still on the Nuggets. So he's like he's like a double agent for the Clippers.
Well, also too, I will tell you from our experience, if you want Joker to have a bad game, make him play defense.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all probably should utilize Zoo offensively a little more, because when Joker got to play defense, he probably will score, or he going to assist. He not going to get them crazy scoring and assist games and rebounds. He don't get those when he actually got to play defense.
Yeah.
They play him. They get a ball to Zoo a little bit more and let Zoo go to work, and now he got to play defense. Tire him out on defense. You might get him a little bit tired on offense.
Well, statistically, I think when I looked up the numbers, Zoo actually statistically is the best defender on Jokic, because one, Zoo is big as strong as hell. Two,
I would never forgive Magic Johnson.
two,
Never.
Zoo is one of the rare centers that can just play him straight up. A lot of teams get killed by Jokic when they have to send Devils and he just pick you apart on offense with his passing playmaking. So if you can play Jokic, and again, the thing with you play Jokic can get about 30, 40. He can't have 10, 12, 13 assists along with that.
Yeah.
So if you just make him be a scorer and he's a scorer, but you shut off the faucet for everybody else. But yeah, like Denver, man, they lost way too many important role players, because again, if Jokic can have a 60-point triple double and they lose, like that lets you, like, if the team, first of all, if he had a 60-point triple double with the team that they used to have, they probably beaten the team by like 20, 30 points.
Yeah.
So,
well, like I said, they just haven't been looking like that invincible team. So for me, my prediction, I'll ask everybody their prediction. My prediction is Clippers in 6.
I think I'm kind of there too. But also that will also hinge on Jamal Murray's health, because Jamal Murray isn't like back yet. And if he's not, Jamal Murray usually turns all world in the playoffs. If he's not,
if Jamal Murray not 100, I think y'all could probably get him in 5, but I just know it's hard playing up there, and they got home court advantage. Yeah. It's hard playing up there in Colorado, so they might steal 1 or 2.
Yeah, no, yeah. Like I said, I wouldn't, just because of Jokic and how good he is. Like I would, you can't count Denver out, but you also just realize again, like if Murray isn't going, because there's nobody else on the team that can do what Murray does, what he usually does in the playoffs, which is what usually makes Denver such a dangerous team. But it was Murray, Jokic, but elite role players around them that made that team so dangerous.
Absolutely. All right, let's move on to this.
Hey, I didn't get my Clipper take.
Oh, my bad. Q, go ahead. Let's hear what you got to say about the Clippers.
No, I mean pretty much what you guys have been saying. I think that
I can't hear him, dog.
I think like you guys said, Zubac to me is the key, because if he can make him work, and I'm looking at some of the stats where like Zubac got over like 10 shot attempts. He had one game where he had 25 points, 11 rebounds against Jokic. Dame is about to piss you off because he was a Laker that game. He had another game against Jokic. He had 32 points, 10 rebounds. He was 15 for 19. His games where he had like 9 points, he had like 7 shots. He had another game, 24 and 15. He had 17 shots. The most recent game, he was 6 for 12. He had 13 points, 13 rebounds, but there was a game earlier this season where he had 24 points, 15 rebounds on 17 shots. So if they actually let Zoo get some shot attempts, he scores as 56% on Jokic.
That's
And
crazy.
every stat I just named is when Jokic is playing. So to me, I've always said if Jokic scored 40, but he got 5 assists, you're probably going to win that game. It's the games where he got 35 points, 17 rebounds, and 15 assists. So I wouldn't double him. I would just let Zoo play him straight up, and and make him work on both ends. And like Daniel was saying, they got to make a decision because you put Aaron Gordon on Kawhi, they have nobody strong enough on the perimeter to handle James Harden. Because I think what the Lakers did against when we played them that first game with Luka was hunting Jamal Murray, and so I see the Clippers doing the same thing. I think I think the only person that got enough strength and tenacity to hang with with James Harden is going to be Westbrook, which is what you want. You want Westbrook in the game. So I got the Clippers in 6. I know everybody's like the Clippers don't have nobody for Jokic. Of course, Zubac don't have to. If Zubac averaged 12 and 12 and 55%, his job is done. As long as he don't get in foul trouble, I think the Clippers beat them because once Aaron Gordon go to the bench, they have nobody.
Yeah.
For Kawhi and you can't put Michael Porter. He eat Michael Porter Jr. up, and then we haven't even mentioned Norman Powell, who averaged what he averaged about 20, about 22, 23 this year. So
they got some more firepower.
I think it's a lot of firepower, and like I said, if the Clippers just stay home on Jokic and don't double him, and hey Zoo, just hold your own. And if he scored 40, let him score 40, but you don't let him get 40 with 15 assists.
Don't get everybody else involved. Let me address what Ron just said. So the thing about Harden in this particular role that he has with the Clippers, he's in a role that he's never really been in as far as the later, not the OKC James Harden, but Harden doesn't have to be the guy. Like any night it could be. Everybody know Kawhi's the number one, like without question. Kawhi's the number one. Any night, the number 2 can be Norman Powell. And again, if Zoo is going off, it can be Zoo. James Harden's job is to facilitate, make plays, hit the 3 if he got it, or score. Like the thing with him, he doesn't have to be Houston James Harden.
This is the playoffs, dog.
What
James Harden gonna have to do.
Can I ask a question?
What he's supposed to do?
Well, I say this: James Harden, and you kind of saw it in the Golden State game. He's getting the team's second best defender. He ain't getting the best defender no more.
Yeah.
And so I think that's a huge difference because Golden State had to make a decision. When Kawhi started going, they put Draymond on Kawhi. Then James Harden started going, they tried to switch. So I think Denver gonna be in the same frenzy of trying to detain both of them. But I think to Harden's defense, he's not getting the best defender no more. Because now Aaron Gordon has to guard Kawhi. You can't put Christian Braun on Kawhi. Yeah, that's 50. Or Jamal Murray, that's 50. I mean, so you got. I mean, I who's coming off Denver's bench outside of Westbrook? They got the lengthy guy. I forget, Watson.
Peyton Watson, yeah.
Peyton Watson. I mean, but he don't have. He got length, but he don't have strength.
Yeah,
he's not strong. He's not strong. So I think, to me, I think it's gonna because Christian Braun or Jamal Murray gonna have to start off on James Harden.
Yeah, and at this point in his career, man, because when James Harden was still in Philly, like he put up a 40 piece and they beat Boston. He had 2 40-point games. I think he's still good for about one or two of those games if he needs it. But like in Philly, Embiid came back, but Embiid didn't. That was his MVP year. Embiid didn't come back and do what he was supposed to do as the alpha and the main guy on the team. So even last year, James Harden played better than Paul George in the series against the Mavericks. Like Paul George was trash. And again, James Harden had about two of those games where he balled out and helped the Clippers win. But again, like as long as he doesn't have the main focus of the team, James Harden, the point guard, as opposed to James Harden, that I have to do everything in Houston. James Harden, I think is way less pressure on him to have to be like amazing. Because if you can get like 15 to 20 from him, and he has about 10 or more assists, then that's like a great James Harden game for what the Clippers need him for.
Well, I'm gonna read. Let me read Ron's comment. Ron said, "I'm just saying, don't go missing. If he plays a Harden game, step back, get to the foul. Clippers winning 5." And I agree with Ron in that, and me and Speed had talked about how sometimes James Harden will go missing the playoffs. And even though Daniel, you saying you don't need him like that, you're gonna need more than him if y'all gonna make a deep run. You're gonna need more than the 15-point games and the facilitating games from him, because like Speed said, it seemed like Norman Powell is still trying to figure out how to play with Kawhi back too. So he, because Norman Powell kind of gets less aggressive when Kawhi's on the court.
But that's why I said he's still good for like two of those old James Harden performances.
And that's how you need in the playoffs. It's hard when you're a game or two and you got to win 4 games, and you just got, okay, Kawhi, you go win the next 2. That's all you really need from your number 2 guy. If your number 2 guy can win you 1 game,
right,
then you're good.
Yeah, so like I said, he doesn't have to be all world every game, but he still, like, again, the Golden State and Clipper game, that was basically a playoff game because whoever lost had to go to the play-in, and he stepped up. Like, he had 12 points in overtime. Like, he won them the game in overtime in Golden State, and Curry was hitting the Curry haymakers and everything.
Yeah,
like Curry was hitting a couple of them threes. I was like, oh, here this little motherfucker go. But the Clippers weathered those, and again, James Harden scored damn near all the points for them in overtime. Like, he hit.
That was still the regular season, dog.
No, that was a pressure game though. That wasn't just a regular season game.
That was the regular season, dog. You can look at it how you want to look at it. That was the regular season. James Harden is good for that in the regular season. I don't care if it's pressure on him or whatever it is. That still was the regular season. I need to see him do this for us in the postseason. I would look for it last year when we needed it most, and I had to turn my damn TV off.
Well, Paul George was supposed to be the number 1 guy, and Paul George averaged about 16 points.
I don't give a damn about Paul George. We had Paul George. We got James Harden. We added James Harden to make this a thing.
Can I ask you guys a question?
But there was no Kawhi last year in the playoffs either.
How healthy is Kawhi?
No, Kawhi's back right now.
He seemed pretty damn healthy.
Right now, when you see him dunking and trying to dunk on everybody, that's when you know he's healthy.
So, are you saying that you trust Kawhi to stay healthy for 6 games?
No, that's a different story.
No, here's the different thing. Last year, Kawhi played 68 games, and we know with his issue, it's if he plays too much, it's one of those things that if he plays too much, then he's going to eventually get hurt. But he's only played 37 games in the regular season. So if you base that off of him playing 68 games last year and going into the playoffs, but then playing that one, and again, remember that when he played, he was incredible, and then he went out after that, like first or second game. But if you got 37 games in the regular season, that means that he should be, based off of history, that he should be he should be healthy for a playoff run unless some freak injury happens. But as far
Okay.
as his rehab and everything,
Uh-huh.
he said this is the best that he's felt in a long time. And you can see when he first came back this year, he looked slow. Didn't have his burst, didn't anything. But as the more he played and the more he ramped up, you saw him play himself back into the Kawhi that we see now.
Okay.
It seem-
So of the Clippers, I'm just gonna throw two scenarios at you. Who do you double team? James Harden or Kawhi?
You can't double team any of them.
No.
That's
But I'm saying Denver's gonna throw a zone, and they're gonna focus on one. So who do you focus on? Kawhi
Well,
or
Well,
Harden?
you saw what happened. You saw what happened the last game. They kept doubling Kawhi. He kept
Mhm.
dumping it down to Dunn, and either Dunn would shoot it or he would lob it to Zubac, and we'll get a bucket, dog. So you got to decide if that's really what you want to do.
Okay. So you're doubling Kawhi. They take away Dunn. Are you saying you trust James Harden in a playoff scenario to make those shots?
Well, Dunn was down at the free throw line, dog. It wasn't like Kawhi was throwing to the 3-point line. You double them and they dumping it down low, dog. That's most likely what's gonna happen.
Mhm.
I'm looking at Harden against Dallas last year. He started off good. He was game 1, 28 points, 8 assists, shot 47% from the field, 54% from 3. Game 2, 22, 6 and 8, 42%. And then he had a 21-point game. He had a 33, 6 and 7, and then I don't know what the hell happened. He had a 7-point game and a 16-point game.
You want to know why? Because those were the closeout games. Those were the games we needed the most. That's when he disappears, bro. That's when he disappears.
It seemed like, I'm curious. I didn't watch that series. I remember I watched a game or two. I didn't watch the whole series. It seemed like as the series go on, when teams make adjustments, he don't have counters.
But now look at Paul George stats for that series. Paul George literally had one good game that series.
Dog,
Yeah,
they've been calling him Pandemic P. So we already know what he gonna give us in the playoffs.
But
But
that goes to my point when I said James Harden can't be the guy. And as long and the fact that he's on the team where everybody know Kawhi is the guy. That again, he doesn't have to explode every game. But like you said, last year against the Mavericks, if Paul George played even how he played in the regular season, that series probably still goes to like 7 because it went to 6 with Paul George shit in the bed.
Paul George ain't Kawhi though, dog. We couldn't look at him to be
He was
Kawhi.
getting paid like it though.
Yeah, and then that's why he didn't get paid like it this year with us.
I don't know.
Yeah.
He started off well too. He had 22 points. The first 2 games. Then he dropped the ball in game 3. He had 7, and then he had game 4. He had 33, and then he had 15 and 18.
Who's your X factor?
Norman on the Clippers. I say Norman Powell.
Norman Powell is the X factor. If his game is on, that's it, dog.
I'll say Norman Powell. You can argue Zubac, but I say Norman Powell because
it's Norman, dog. It's without a doubt, it's Norman.
Because most teams don't have 3 good defenders. So you put your best defender on Kawhi, you put your second best defender on James Harden. So that leaves your third best perimeter defender on Norman Powell. So
Jake,
to me,
but then they also have the lineup where they bring in Bogdanovich with the starters too, which that's another player that you can't leave open.
No, well, in the end, I got Clippers in 6.
Yeah, I got Clippers.
I think they probably still game 1.
Man.
Yeah, I got Clippers in 6. But if they still game 1, I got Clippers in 5.
I got Denver in 7.
Really, I want to hear.
Yeah, I
Jokic.
want to hear this. How you figure this?
Jokic. That team is pissed. That team is pissed. This is the first time in which I've seen Jokic pissed, and this motherfucker is focused, and this team got something to prove. Like they're hungry. Like they're pissed. I don't know if you guys realize it, but this Denver team is pissed.
I feel like the Clippers just got too much firepower and they're better defensively.
Yeah.
And you talk about Denver being pissed, the Clippers are pissed. You know, all
You're breaking up, Daniel.
I'm breaking up, Daniel. We can't hear you. You sound like you're something scratching your mic or something.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me now?
You don't think?
No, I said
You don't think Kawhi
the Clippers
pissed?
been playing with a chip. No, I'm saying the Clippers been playing with a chip on their shoulder all season because when they let Paul George walk, everybody was all the quote unquote analysts and experts was like the Clippers are gonna finish 12th or 13th in the West. OKC gonna get their pick this year. Yada 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 yada. So they were projected to win 35 games this year, and they won 50 games with Kawhi playing 37 of them. So they're actually they're better than what their record is based off of not having Kawhi for like 43 games.
Let me tell you something. I don't
still winning 50.
I don't think if knowing based what I know of Kawhi, I don't think he forgot what happened in the bubble, and he still owe their ass.
So
that 3-1? Oh yeah,
he still owe their ass. So you want to talk about piss? Kawhi been waiting for this one.
So if this
has been the best Kawhi since too.
Mm-hmm. This has also been the best version of Jokic.
I don't think so.
Number wise, but impact wise, no.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think impact wise. If you watch the Denver play this year, like I was saying earlier, that air of invincibility that they had, where they just seemed super unstoppable, it's not there no more, man.
Like where they had the numbers, they had the Lakers numbers, but they didn't have them this year.
But I know you talk about Joker, Mark.
No, but that's
the thing is their role players who made them unbeatable are not there. They don't have KCP on this team. They don't have a Bruce Brown on this team.
No, that's the argument because this team, from everything in which I've been reading, they've been pissed, they've been miserable, they've been sulking because of issues with Malone. They look like a different team now that Malone is not there. The other thing is, to me, again, this is just to me, if Michael Porter Jr. is focused, it's a different Denver team. And the last couple of games in which I've watched, I tuned in late to this team. He's actually being a little bit more aggressive with his shot taking. And that to me is what makes Denver dangerous, is if he's aggressive with his shot.
Well, he gonna have to defend too, because he got to defend Norman Powell.
I mean, all he gotta do is keep his hands up.
I mean, Norman Powell is more than just a spot up
flasher too.
Yeah.
Right.
Norman Powell can score buckets.
No, I'm not sleeping on Norman Powell. Like, I'm actually happy that he had a great year, because even last year I felt that they were treating, it was a grave misjustice for him not getting the amount of minutes that he should have been.
And then if the Clippers move him to the shooting guard, which they can, because to me, because Denver don't have good guard defenders. That's what we're talking about. No Bruce Brown, no KCP. All their main perimeter defenders are gone. So they relying on Jamal Murray, Christian Brown,
Christian Brown is nice,
Westbrook, and Watson. No, that's what they relying on. So to guard Norman Powell and James Harden, because the Clippers will go small at some point and have Norman Powell and Harden in the backcourt. Who Jamal Murray? You can't hide neither one of them. They're gonna have to guard somebody,
right?
And I think that's what that's where the Clippers' biggest advantage.
Jake NBA said Clippers are on fire right now, which is why I think they're gonna beat the Nuggets and be a problem for the Thunder. Yeah, so and that's what I'm looking at too. Like towards the end of the season, Clippers had really good momentum, and I don't feel like the Nuggets have had really good momentum going into this stretch. Like they've been like a Dr. Jekyll and Hyde team. They'll beat the hell out of a good team and then
Agreed.
lose to a bad team.
Also, you got a rookie coach going against Ty Lue. You got to do that. Been coaching for a week and a half against one of the top 5 coaches in the league.
Coaching is definitely going to matter.
Hell yeah, the play. Coaching like 75% in the playoffs.
Yeah,
I also saw him say that the Clippers and Nuggets went 2-2, but at the same time, Kawhi ain't playing none of the 4 games.
Yeah, he ain't playing those games. So
they're gonna see. First of all, you got a game plan for not just Kawhi. You got a game plan for playoff Kawhi, who's a different person, who they haven't seen this year. So again, like Damon said, I think Clippers actually probably will have a good chance to steal the first game, just because Denver has not seen him all year.
Mm-hmm. I think game win's a must win for the Clippers, truthfully speaking.
Nah,
I think it's a must win for Denver if they're gonna have a chance to win.
Yeah.
No, I think it's a must win for Denver as well. But I think for the Clippers overall, I think they have to win game 1.
No,
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think the Clippers all they need is a split. No matter if it's 1-2.
They come out there with a split, all the pressure is on Denver.
Is it a 2-3-2? Is it a 2-2-1-1-1?
Yep.
Oh, it's back to that format?
No, 2-3-2 is the finals.
Yeah, 2-2 is the finals.
Okay. Okay. So that switches it. Yeah, I think it's a must win for Denver then.
Yeah.
Considering that format. Either way, I think it's going to be a good game.
No, I think that's going to be the best series in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's going to be the best series in the first round.
They got all the good games, like you said earlier, Quincy. They got all the good games on Saturday.
Yeah, all the good games on Saturday. Yeah, I'll probably go out and chill on Sunday.
Wait a minute. Denver Clippers, it's at the Clippers home?
No, it's
No.
not.
No.
Oh, okay.
Clippers are 5 seed.
Okay. I was like, wait a minute. I was confused.
Yeah, they all play Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Who are the games we got Saturday, Quincy?
Saturday, you got is it
whoever wins the 7th and 8th?
Yeah,
Golden
I think
State.
you have
Bucks, Pacers, Clippers, Nuggets, Pistons, Knicks, Timberwolves, Lakers.
Yeah, that's all the best game.
That's all the best games to start.
Saturday is locked up. I ain't going nowhere.
Yeah. For real.
Who's your team now, Mars?
I'm not gonna lie to you. That beat kind of messed me up. I'm a little pissed off at the African right now. I'm enjoying what I'm seeing with OKC, but I'm jumping on board early in San Antonio. I'm getting ready for next year.
Not even the Knicks. You're not going back to the Knicks tape?
Hell no, Knicks are not gonna advance. If they advance past Detroit, they're gonna fall in the second round. I don't believe in Tibbs.
I think that's the upset in the first round.
Jake said, I think the Wolves are going to be more trouble than people think for the Lakers.
I don't.
I think we have a good game plan. And if you've been watching the Lakers, we've been playing some really, really good ball. Shout out to the podcaster. His X's and O's have been kind of crazy in regards to those teams that have been beating up on us under Ham. He's been doing some like really good things. You know, he said that team defense. Yeah, that team defense, but there's some holes. We talked about it earlier. I don't know if it was on we talked about it, Jake, but there's some holes in that team defense, and there's some people that can't hide. That I mean, Luka basically picked them apart. Luka and Kyrie picked them apart, just the two of them.
Yeah, and that was a better Minnesota team because they had
you got to do with Luka, Reeves, and LeBron.
Mm.
You know, you dealing with those three, and like I said, Kyrie averaged 30, and Luka averaged
33.
33. Yeah, that was just them two. So now you got to deal with LeBron, Reeves, and Luka. And there's certain teams that Luka just really damn good at picking apart. Like we saw even when we watched them play OKC. It's certain teams that Luka he got their number. And I ain't saying Minnesota's one of them, but Minnesota couldn't do a damn thing with them last year. With
a better team.
Yeah. Yeah,
No, I think I think with Karl Anthony Towns is much better than they are with Julius Randle.
I agree with you, Ron. If LeBron is healthy, we can. I think we make it to the West Conference Finals too. I think
Yeah,
we kind of looked
can't
up too. We're gonna
stand
be on the
them.
right side of the bracket because the Clippers they're gonna be on the side where niggas got to beat each other.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
why I hope Golden State lose some more. Put them on that side of the bracket too.
That ain't happening, dog.
You
Not
don't
to
think
Memphis.
is Memphis at home or Golden State at home?
Golden State at home. Well, Golden State look beat up though.
Nah, they'll be all right. Shit, they was beat up, but they hung with us.
Man, trust in
Yeah,
Ja.
but that's why they beat up because they hung with y'all. That's why they come in that bitch limping.
Man, trust in Ja Wick.
Jimmy Buckets ain't gonna let them lose that game, even if Curry fall off like sometimes he do.
Nah, I'm telling you, it's
That
something.
dude, he's the exact same player he was when he came in his rookie year. That's crazy. If you look at his numbers, it's damn near identical to when he came in as a rookie.
Who?
He hasn't taken that next step, man. Ja
Who?
I hope
Morant
so,
is
Ron.
not taking
No,
that next step.
which is why I think with everything that's going on, I have a feeling that Golden State game, he is going to go off.
Well, I think the key person in that matchup is Jaren Jackson because Golden State have problems against skilled bigs. We've been saying that shit. Zubac been killing Golden State since his rookie year as a Laker.
Man, Triple J needs to grab more than 2 rebounds.
And so if you have a skill, Draymond gets away playing center when you go in against somebody who can't post up, who have no touch, who have no skill. When they go against a skilled big man, that's when they walk into their problems. That's why the Clippers was
Barbecue chicken.
yeah, and I think Jared Jackson because they can't go with Edie because Golden State gonna switch his ass out there and it's gonna be bombs alert. But when they downsize and they have Jaren Jackson Jr. at the center, who is way more athletic than Edie, he'll cook Draymond.
Yeah, but the thing about it is that he doesn't crash the boards. How can you be 6'11" and average 2 rebounds? Which is
I know
why
Kuminga better get run this game. Kuminga should have played against us. I don't know what Kurt was thinking.
What
Kuminga's off the rotation right now.
Why is he out the rotation?
I don't know.
Because Kuminga's another guy that they've kind of hoped would be much better at this point.
Because Kurt can't coach.
But remember, there's some trades that they didn't do because they didn't want to include Kuminga, which is coming back to bite them in the ass because again, now he's out the rotation. His value is tanked. Whatever you could have got for him before, they're not going to get in the offseason if they want to get rid of him because he's due for a contract in the offseason. So he's probably going to walk for nothing. So Golden State just completely they completely messed that up.
Well, I've already started hearing rumors that the Nets are going to pursue him.
Who?
I mean, that's just
Kuminga?
Nets is basketball. The Nets
Purgatory
is basketball
right
purgatory. That's just straight basketball purgatory.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, let's go to. We got 2 more. The Rockets, they're gonna play either Golden State or Memphis for the purpose of this conversation. Let's say they're gonna play.
Damn, you sound far away.
Oh, sorry. For the purpose of this conversation, let's say the Rockets are gonna play Golden State because most of us agree we think Memphis might lose, right?
Memphis is gonna lose.
Who do you take out of the Rockets in Golden State? I think Golden State could beat the Rockets.
Man, I'm not going against Houston and Emo. I'm not going against that man because he got that team different right now.
Yeah, but they got
He might doing his thing, man. But
they got to score.
I think the Rockets too young, man.
In the playoff, when you need a bucket, who they going to?
Well,
for the Rockets, I mean,
they're gonna try to go to Sagoon. So
if they don't go to Sagoon,
I don't think that's gonna work. He's not.
No, he ain't like that.
Ready
Fred
for that.
Don't sleep on Fred playing Fleet.
I'm cool. I'm sleeping.
Yeah, I'm dead. Hey, don't wake me.
Hey man, he got a ring on that finger, man.
Yeah, but
Well,
that's because the guy in the Clippers was on that
Yes,
team.
Hey man,
well, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you though. I think it's going to be interesting because the one thing that Houston does have is they have a one of a kind athletic special player that has actually taken Curry out of games, and I'm in Thompson. If you take Curry out of the game, anything is possible.
and they could carry.
He
Yeah,
ain't
they
did that
could.
playoff Curry yet, though.
Yeah. I can't see that happening in
He ain't did
playoffs.
the playoff Curry yet.
it's more
I-
pressure in the
they
playoffs,
they
man.
they 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 like 20 something in field goal percentage. Like they get a lot of offensive rebounds, so they miss a lot. Against Golden State, man, you can't go on 5 minute droughts, as the Lakers found out a couple of weeks ago. You go on a 5 minute drought on Golden State, your ass down by 17. you can't go on them long droughts like that. And Rockets tend to go on they had those droughts where they not scoring for 5-6 minutes. And against against any of these playoff teams now, I don't think you can take those type of droughts.
Mhm.
And go, especially Golden State, because 3 possessions that could be a 9-point difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I think. Sorry, go.
No, go ahead.
No, I think that's where you rely on Emo and his coaching experience to really make those adjustments. That's one thing about him that I have to give him his kudos for. That man does make some great in-game adjustments.
Mars, have you forgot about Jimmy Buckets, playoff Jimmy?
Jimmy
And
Jimmy
He
Buckets
keep
has not
forgetting about
looked.
him.
No,
You
Jimmy
forgot they got
Buckets. He has
playoff.
not looked. He has not looked like Jimmy Buckets. I'm sorry.
What you talking about? He never looked like Jimmy Buckets until the
He
playoffs.
looked
Yeah,
like
but
exactly.
he
And he
was playing
looked like Jimmy Buckets yesterday.
Yeah, he sure did. Here's the thing: there always become a point in playoffs that X's and O's doesn't matter because teams they didn't already played each other for 3-4 games. In those clutch situations, when you need buckets
Mhm.
and you go and the game is tight,
Mhm.
who on Houston gonna get you that bucket? Because Golden State got 2. They got at least 2.
Yep.
Golden State got 2.
Right.
Who on the Rockets don't and whatever name you say don't have that experience yet?
No, they don't have the experience. I agree with you, but I have to look at it like this: because they don't have that quote unquote go-to man, it leaves a level of unpredictability where you can set up something Sengun close to the basket. You can. I want to say that I have a little bit of faith in Fred VanVleet if you're passing the ball out and he's open. If you're doing a slasher, you got the Thompson kid. Spread it out, you got what's that kid's name? The rookie, not rookie.
Green? Which one?
No, Green is another slasher.
Whitmore.
No, the big guy that can't rebound for shit. All he does is take threes.
Jabari
Sengun?
Yeah, Jabari Smith. There's a level of unpredictability about this team, which to me makes it a little bit scary. I'm not, and the thing is, I don't want to take away from the greatness of Golden State, but to me, Golden State is not that team that scares me. And I think the reality of the situation is that if you can take Steph out that game, anything is possible.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Well, hell, that's anyway. You take Michael Jordan out of a game, anything is possible.
Yeah, but
So,
how often
are
you
they not
take-
that team though, dog? Did you see what they did since they got Butler, dog?
I mean, but the thing about it is like, okay, how they not that team? Did they beat the Clippers?
I mean, the Clippers is they 9-1 in their last 10 games, bro. Come on.
No. Did they beat the Clippers?
Clippers are 9-1 in their last 10 games.
So that's a no.
The Clippers ain't the Clippers not your regular 5th seed.
Right, but the thing about it is like
not a number 5th seed.
If they're that team, the monster game in which Curry was having in that fourth quarter, they win.
Man, did you see that game?
Yes, I was watching that game.
Houston wouldn't have survived that game. against either one of those.
But my argument is that
Houston don't have the shot making of the Clippers
but
to be in that situation with Golden State.
My argument is not necessarily that. My argument is it's not the same Golden State team that strikes fear. If you can lock up and take Curry out the game, anything is possible. I don't
doing that?
Huh? I'm telling you, I'm putting
Who's taking Curry?
I'm
who's
putting
locking Curry up in the
stock
playoffs?
in, I'm putting stock barrel. I'm pushing everything in the table under email. Because that brother wants to celebrate in them strip clubs in Houston.
He said they not that same scary team. I mean, they in the plan, bro. We know that, but they still a threat.
Anyone can be a threat, but I don't feel that they don't scare me. If they how do they scare me?
If I'm a Houston fan,
if I'm one of the top, if they're one of the top 2 or 3 teams.
I think you're not.
Right,
I'm not giving enough gravity to what experience in the playoffs means.
Right, because I'm disrespectful as fuck. I don't give a fuck.
We see.
Let's keep it honest. I don't fear them. They're not the old team.
Well, you don't fear them. It's Houston, and I think Houston will fear them again. Like I said, I don't know who's going to stop Curry. Who's going to stop Jimmy Buckets?
I don't have faith in Jimmy Buckets. I don't think he's the same player. I think he is. No. I think he's playing off a hype. I don't feel he's the same player.
His team went 23-8 since the trade. Did you know what Golden State was in the West at that time?
23-8.
Golden State was like the 10th best team.
I
would give more credence to your take if we saw Jimmy have a bad playoff run. We haven't seen that yet. Like, it's not like you said, well, the last 2 playoffs he wasn't good.
Let me ask you this question: is Jimmy healthy?
Yes.
You think so?
Yes.
Especially after that.
He got a thigh contusion. He got a thigh contusion.
Yeah.
That would be ready to go by next Sunday.
Okay. Jimmy, he'll be ready. Trust me.
They
for some reason, there's something in the playoffs where he's gonna be ready. Even when he get hurt in the playoffs, he's ready the next game.
Right. They got to play tomorrow, and if I'm Memphis, I'm attacking that motherfucker.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't attack somebody who got defense like that.
Hey, man. Hey, hey, we're in. Let me put it like this: stranger things have happened. We are in the era of Trump, Wick.
Yeah, well.
All right, so let's move on to what we think OKC gonna do, because OKC had a great season last year, great regular season. Had a great regular season, but they got put out too. I think they're gonna pass the first round because they're either gonna have Memphis or what?
Or Golden State.
They're gonna have Memphis most likely.
So if they get Memphis,
well, I ain't gonna put it past Sack might be able to get Memphis, man.
Yeah, because Zach LaVine go on heaters where he just can't get sometimes.
Zach LaVine in a 1-game playoff is scary because he can't go on the heater.
Yeah.
And they do got Sabonis. They do got a good post player. DeRozan is a good clutch player.
Is Monk gonna play?
I think he might be back.
Is Monk gonna be healthy enough to play?
I think he might be back. But if they get Monk back,
did he go down?
He been out for a minute though. Yeah, I think it was a hamstring.
Oh, well, those are tricky. Hamstrings are extremely tricky.
Yeah.
My thing with OKC, I've been talking about this all year. I think while they were incredible in the regular season, I think in the playoffs they may have some issues because they only have one guy that can consistently get his own.
Well, I'll go even further, Daniel, and I agree with you. I think the fact that the volume of shots that he takes is going to be a problem.
And he's not going to get the same whistle that he gets in the regular season.
I was just about to say, I think it's going to be the same issue that young James Harden had. If you average about 10 free throws and them get cut down to 5 in the playoffs, that drastically changes not only your game, but it changes your points per game, your effectiveness. And I think that's what we're going to see with SGA. Not only they're not a second player who you can depend on every single night, that's one, but he's not going to get those foul calls. And OKC is a super fast break team. I don't think they're that great in the half court.
Mm-mm. They're still
They're
young.
not.
Their
Like I
monk is
said,
out.
they only have. Monk
Monk
is
is
out.
out for the remainder of the regular season in the playoffs.
Here's the other
Oh
thing
wow.
about OKC, and which I don't like, is that looking at SGA, he's now looking for the calls and arguing for the calls. While everyone is getting
Well,
back
you
on
see the game when they
transition,
played the Lakers.
Hmm?
The game that they played the Lakers, he wasn't getting the calls that he usually got. And
Mhm.
if he's not getting to the free throw line, he's not as effective. So
Nope.
you kind of saw a preview of when he's not getting that call. OKC struggles.
Mhm.
Yeah, I got OKC losing to the winner of the Clippers in Denver series. I think they get past the first round, but I think when they go against the Clippers in Denver, they're probably gonna lose.
And
Ron
they don't
said,
have any real veterans.
Ron said, you like Houston, but not OKC.
So let me ask you this question. Let's say that they do lose, and let's say we do not see the same SGA. He's limited in foul calls. Does that raise a level of panic
For what?
for OKC?
No, but I think they should go and make a trade and bring Kevin Durant back home.
Bro, I was just about to say that. Them are Houston.
Yeah.
Well, whoever lose, somebody
Those-
need to grab KD.
I would trade. They got 200 million draft picks.
Mm-hmm.
They need to send them draft picks and a couple that maybe I send check. Check is like a poor man Pau Gasol to me. I send check and 5 million of them draft picks and bring KD back home. That's what they need. That's what Houston need too.
You know what I'm saying? But both of them, they need to fight each other to try to get KD.
But if I'm OKC, I would be trying to find a way to get KD back home, and they got the draft picks to do it.
I think he's definitely being moved, and I do see OKC as being one of those teams. Speed, I agree with you. I think it's down to OKC, and I think it's down to Houston. I think those are the only two teams that realistically can acquire him.
Yeah, they need that's somebody who can get buckets when they need it, and that can help them out in the playoffs.
It would definitely help our SGA because I think what you're about to see is teams are fit to say who else on OKC could beat us.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Williams is good, but he ain't gonna beat us.
Yeah, and they fit definitely test it. Who else on this team can beat us? And he finna get that Allen Iverson treatment, where it's like, okay, Aaron McKee, can you hit a shot? like who else out here gonna beat us? Teams are not fit to just sit back and let SGA beat them.
Right.
And no disrespect to him as a player, but
be disrespectful.
Your OG veteran on the team is Alex Caruso.
Yeah, he's the oldest player on the team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know why they didn't get like some real veterans on the squad.
Yeah, but I think first thing they should do is go get KD.
Well, I think their plan has always been to hold their assets to make the big trade after year 1 or year 2 of their playoff appearance.
But Sam Presti,
Daniel broke
idea
up
when he was in OKC. But his first time around OKC.
Yeah, but I think he learned.
Not his first time around, but OKC's been sitting on a lot of draft picks for a while.
Yeah, they have so many that they can't use.
Right, but he had now because of the number of assets and draft that they have, the draft capital that they have to move it because at the end of the day, it's just going waste. Like this year and next year, he has to make 2 big moves.
Well, no. Let me tell you. Look, Sam Presti to me is the new Danny Ainge. When Danny Ainge was stockpiling all them assets in Boston, and he
Mhm.
just thought like it was the thought of, oh man, I got this treasure chest. But then that treasure
Mhm.
chest went to shit because once the picks start, like the picks, once you start seeing where the picks are going to land, and they
Mhm.
ended up being like late first rounders or something like that. It wasn't like lottery picks,
Right.
but when there's still the mystery of a pick that's 2-3 years out, it's much more attractive to trade that pick because nobody knows the value of that pick. You just know it's like 3-4 most. If you're doing a trade for a superstar, they have like 3-4-5 first round picks that they can spare. But
Mhm.
Presti so far has just been sitting on the picks. And I felt like if they were serious about making a move this year, as far as like compete for a championship, they should have bought in another bona fide guy that can take the load, that can help take the load off of SGA because he's
But
going to be the primary focus.
but the
You don't
thing
have
is,
anybody else that you can be like, all right, well, if they shutting down SGA, well, there's nobody else that you say like, okay, give them the ball and they're gonna kick a team ass.
so who like okay, circling back, let's rewind the season. Who would you pursue? Who would you have pursued?
They could have traded for Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant was available at the trade deadline.
But remember, I don't think he wanted to move. No, he
No,
said
Kevin
he
Durant
didn't.
was
No,
done.
he didn't want
Kevin
to go to
Durant
Golden
wanted to
State.
leave.
He didn't want
Yeah,
to
No,
go
he
to
wanted
Golden
to go to
but
Golden
I
State.
State.
but I thought he also came out and said that he didn't want to be traded during the season. He wanted to
No,
wait after the
Yeah,
season.
he did say that, but I think if it
But it
was a
was more, yeah.
situation,
Mhm.
he didn't want to go to Golden State. That was not
That's what it was, dog.
that's what it boiled down to. He didn't want to go back to Golden State.
but he was available. If they would have got KD this year, then that team is scary.
Dude,
Mhm.
and I think that would be the complete full circle change of narrative for him. That he goes back to OKC. He's
Mhm.
like the old vet now,
Mhm.
and people will love him again. He'll be a hero. He wouldn't be like the narrative would be completely different on him.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, KD.
His
Like
best
they
look is
they
to go
should
back
have
to
they should have
state.
pulled the trigger this year.
Yeah, I think the best look, like you say, Quincy, bring him home. You let him in his redemption arc from
mhm.
and let
But
him
he
retire. I think that's the best. To me, that's the best look.
that's the other thing about him, which I don't understand. It's like it's like whatever makes sense, he wants to go against the grain.
Yeah, well, I think with him the Golden State narrative didn't go the way that he thought it was going to go, and that just created a deep insecurity in him.
Nah, I think that motherfucker just don't like Draymond.
Nobody likes Draymond.
No, but no, I think to go to a team, you win championships and don't nobody give you fucking credit for it.
Mm-hmm.
Steph and them, they still count the rings for Steph and Draymond, and they was the ones that called him.
Yeah.
So I'm like, why the fuck would I go back there? I didn't get no credit for the past two chips, and we both know y'all wouldn't have beat LeBron and Kyrie without me.
No, yeah, they definitely
And
need him.
So
Draymond called me a bitch.
and Draymond called, told me we don't need you.
Need you. Yeah, I remember that.
Nigga, tell me we don't need you.
Yeah,
But
we
nigga,
don't
you
need you because
call
we
me.
used you already.
We used you already. Hell, you called me after blowing a 3-1 lead.
Mm-hmm.
So of course, KD, I wouldn't go back there either. I don't blame him. Now Draymond realized, well, maybe we do need him.
Mm-hmm.
And
They said Curry met with KD before the trade deadline, and KD was like, "Yeah, but nah, cause I'm not coming back."
No, I'm not going through that
Yeah,
again.
because Curry literally tried to like talk to him like, "Hey, bro, like we need you." He's like, "Yeah, that's cool, but
Yeah,
I'm not."
No,
I'm
y'all
not
did
coming
that. Y'all gave me that line before.
yeah. And then I got no credit from the media, nobody for those chips. And Kyrie and LeBron was smacking y'all ass up healthy.
And he literally the one who made them unbeatable. Like,
yes,
he's the one who made them unbeatable them years.
That's still such a whole move, but yeah.
No, it is.
But that's why I say go. That's why I say going to OKC to me will close that circle up. Go back to OKC. even if they don't get a championship, they get into a deep playoff run. He gets to close up his legacy in a better way because now he looks like one of the best players ever to just become a journeyman. Because after you leave OKC, then you go to Brooklyn, then you go to Phoenix.
LeBron did it.
State.
They hated Cleveland. Burned his jersey, blah, blah, blah. He went back, won the chip. They don't say shit bad about LeBron no more in Cleveland.
Yeah, but I think if
after he left the second time.
But I think if he goes back, if KD goes back to OKC, I think it adds more pressure considering what the young nucleus that they have, factoring in
Pressure
their win percentage.
Pressure to who,
though? They haven't done shit since I left.
As pressure to KD, as pressure on the OKC organization.
What have OKC done since I left?
Right. They haven't done anything, but they've gotten a 60-win season. And you're now adding one.
They did that last year.
No, we're talking about but I'm saying they add him this offseason. You've added him to a 60-win team. The expectation, regardless of how it is or how they finish in the playoffs, the expectations is you're coming out of the West.
I mean, but is that more of an expectation than, like, again, whole move? Was that more of an expectation than going to a team that went 73-9?
No, but I'm saying it adds pressure, and for some strange reason, this fool does not deliver when there is pressure and expectations.
I think the narrative would be different this time because it would be more like SGA, who's about to be MVP. It would be more of KD going back to his team.
Quincy, I don't like the shots you're taking right now.
SGA about to win MVP.
I don't like the shots that you're taking.
Yeah. All right, let's look at this East bracket real quick. Now that I give it
That Indiana,
I probably don't watch no Eastern Conference.
It's going to be a brawl.
I'm not excited about the East, but I will tell you,
Man,
I think this is the best Western Conference playoff that we've had in some years. It's like the Clippers, what y'all number 6 and they won 50 games? Number 5 and won 50 games? It's gonna be a dogfight out west.
There's at least 6 teams that could come out the West.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's 6 teams that could come out the West.
And that y'all sleeping on that Bucks Pacer game. That shit gonna be a brawl.
I'm going to sleep right now. Let's see you say the 2 names.
Hey, you know Damian Lillard ain't playing, dog. So
he's not.
Yep, I'm ready. Yeah, that series gonna be like taking motherfucking Advil PM.
Pacers in 5.
The probably the best series is probably gonna be that Knicks Pistons.
Knicks Pistons. That's gonna be the best series.
That's gonna be the best series. It's not gonna get good and probably until Cleveland and Celtics play.
Yeah.
But the Knicks Pistons is probably gonna be the best series.
The only thing that'll make the East good is some upsets.
I think there's
that's the only one I really could see being an upset is because Pistons is 6 seed, Knicks.
Detroit been playing some good damn ball.
Man, fuck Michael Beasley. Motherfucker couldn't hit. He couldn't hit the fucking Pacific Ocean with a golf ball.
Go to third most made threes in the season.
Man,
hell.
All I know is that it's going to be the most physical game. This is going to be a throwback to the 90s. Detroit and New York.
Who they playing teams? The Miami Heat, the Hawks, Chicago,
the Bulls in Orlando.
Wasn't that shit. I'm cool. I'm gonna do something on Sunday. I'm going to enjoy my Sunday. Y'all let me know what happened. I mean, I'll probably hate watch.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think Cleveland playing Boston, dog.
What?
I don't even think Cleveland playing Boston.
Elaborate on that.
Cleveland getting put out by whoever went out of Indiana and Milwaukee, dog.
What?
They getting put out by one of them two.
Nah, man, that team is different. Mobley has arrived.
I don't care who arrived, man. Cleveland is, even though their record looks like it is, they have games where they can be on and off.
Man,
And Indiana has a lot more games where they own than off lately.
Watching Cleveland, everything in which I pissed me off last year, they corrected. They are getting that kid involved, and they are running the offense through him. Mitchell has finally stopped being a black hole on offense, and is actually looking to get the bigs involved. Garland, that motherfucker can't hit a layup.
They better be glad Lillard ain't playing, dog. Because I for sure pick Milwaukee over the Cavs.
Mm-hmm.
What I will say though, I see both of y'all points, right? Like what you saying, they look on and off sometimes speed, but also I've seen them look really good when Donovan Mitchell wasn't playing, which to me is the thing that makes it scary.
I got Cleveland.
But Donovan Mitchell can shoot him out of games too. He can shoot him out of games, dog.
He's more disciplined this year, though. I think you guys are not giving him credit for being. He's not the old Donovan Mitchell. Like, he's a more disciplined player where he knows that his money is in the fourth quarter. He's a closer, and he's finally accepted that.
We gonna see, but Boston gonna be in the finals anyway. Well, depending on Brown's health, Boston will be in the finals.
Ron said Bucks look better without Little. Y'all agree?
No, sir. No, sir.
Dame don't look like the same player.
Hold on, Quincy, I can't hear you for some reason.
Yeah, say something disrespectful about Mobley. I can't hear him either. I can't hear you, Dave.
Yeah, me either.
Let me remove him and try to bring him back. With the mic. Quincy, you there now? Go out and come back in.
Your end.
Yeah.
It might be the earpiece.
But yeah, man, I think when you come to playoffs, you need all your stars. No matter how you look in the regular season, if you have a chance to have Damian Lillard, you need him out there.
Damian Lillard in the playoffs, dog. That dude make big shots, man. I can't see how Ron. I cannot see how you say they look better with a big shot shooter in the postseason.
Oh shit, Porter's back, right?
Who?
Porter, Bobby Porter.
They got Kevin Porter Jr. too, dog. He been playing good.
Mm-hmm.
They got him from us, dog. He's playing all right for us, and we let him go.
Yeah.
You back?
Hello?
There we go. I can hear you now.
I think I'm back.
Yeah, you back.
Picture.
I don't know your picture. I don't know what happened to your picture.
What the hell?
But what was you saying about Dame Lillard?
No, the Bucks need a closer, man. In Middleton, that was Middleton's job. He's not there. That's what they brought Dame for. Giannis ain't the one that they go to the close games.
Oh, we also forget that. Thank you for reminding me, Ron. They got Doc Rivers over there.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, they next best for players who Kuzma. They don't go to Kuzma in the clutch.
Hey, I trust Kevin Porter Jr. in the clutch more than Kuzma.
Kuzma's the Bucks?
Yeah.
Did I forget that?
Nope.
That's crazy.
He got traded over around the deadline.
Well, Kuzma's pretty good in the playoffs too, though. We'll give him that.
Man, if you don't knock it the fuck off.
He was good for us in the playoffs, dog.
That was how. This dude hits air balls. He shoots air balls. Giannis is looking at him like, what the fuck you doing? Like, sometimes Giannis looks like he wants to fight him.
Let me see. Jake said Bucks have been rolling lately and beat the Pacers 3-1 this year, but no Dame is a big time deal. Yeah. So yeah, I think, like I said, I don't think the Eastern Conference is going to get interesting maybe till like the second and third round. Y'all watching any of them games? I know you on the East Coast, Rob. You watching any of them games, Mars?
Yeah, I mean, I am. This is the time of the year in which I do tune into the games, even if the teams are bad.
Yeah.
I'm very interested in seeing the Bucks against the Pacers. I am very curious to see exactly how Orlando does, because I think I think that kid is Karl Malone 2.0,
Don't
in
care
my
about
opinion.
that game.
And I'm curious if Suggs is going to be back too. I know you don't care about that player
I
either.
don't care about the Celtics game.
Yeah, you only care
in the
about the
first
Clippers.
round.
Care about the Clippers and Lakers, right?
It's only 2 games I care about in the first round, dog,
Uh-huh.
on the East.
So you got that LeBron,
The Pacers and Bucks and
Pacers and
Detroit
Bucks.
and the Knicks. Them the only 2 games I will watch
Okay.
in the first round.
Yeah, I give you that. So who do you think comes out of the play-in? 7 and 8.
For the East, who's in there? Who's in that?
Man, I'm not even.
Orlando is playing. Who is Orlando playing? Are they playing the Hawks?
Mm-hmm.
Or let me see. Yeah, Orlando playing the Hawks. I think the Heat beat the Bulls and Hawks beat Orlando.
Yeah, boss, that's speed.
So
Yes, sir, boss.
So who you think?
Jake said Bulls, Miami, Hawks, Orlando. I'm taking Miami, and I'm going to take Orlando just because I hate the way that Trae Young play in the playoffs. And Pacers. I think
That boy Halliburton is balling now.
Get the Bucks.
That boy Halliburton is balling.
But Pacers is another one of those Jekyll and Hyde teams too. Yeah, it's gonna be. It might be the East might be a little more interesting than I initially thought.
The East is trash.
Man, I'm sleeping on my boy Mobley.
The East is no, we're not. I'm telling you, to me, the Cleveland Cavaliers is nothing but the Atlanta Hawks that won 60 games that one year, and they got to that. They don't. You're not going to win with 2 terrible small defensive guards. You cannot win in the league like that if you're in the playoffs, because they're gonna hunt Mobley and they're gonna hunt Garland and Mitchell.
Man, I believe in Kenny Atkins, man. That man has unlocked Evan Mobley. I believe in Atkins. He got a raw deal in Brooklyn.
You see what Zubac did to Evan Mobley and Jared Allen? He had 28 and 20 on him.
Hey man,
Mobley's not that guy.
That was the regular season. Plus, his tummy hurt.
All right, well, shit, this is a great show. I feel like we gotta have other fans on more often, man. This is a good damn show. We gotta get y'all involved on the pod some more often. You know
I'm sorry I didn't join it earlier, so I can make sure sprinkle some LeBron hate on your discussions.
I want to ask you before we get out of there, what you think of the Lakers Timberwolves.
Oh, well, Labanco James, I'm sure will be ready for that game. But I think Anthony Edwards is looking forward to locking him up or dunking on Bronny. Something along the line.
Bronny ain't even gonna see the court. Not at all.
Bronny last bit of the court was what he did in Portland yesterday. I said
Labanco.
He had 40 minutes and scored 4 points.
Yo,
That's okay.
Let's have an honest discussion. Can we please be honest and just admit that this motherfucker Bronny James should not be playing in the NBA? Can we at least admit that?
He should have still been at USC. Period.
Right now, he shouldn't.
I don't think
I'm not gonna say he can't be an NBA player.
Yeah,
James.
I think he should be in the G League, dog. I'm not mad at him being in the G League.
I think he should have still been at college, like because he had a terrible year and then came out. But like the main thing that he needed at this point in his career is just to play consistently. Which
But
is
I'm
why I
saying
don't.
that's why I think he should have been in the G League, and he played actually pretty well in the G League.
What position is he playing?
I think they got him at shooting guard right now.
Is he a shooting guard?
He can't shoot.
No,
Shooting guard.
he's a tweener.
Yeah, he is. He's a tweener, but I think he's gonna. I think he can, from what I'm seeing, he can develop into a Gary Payton Jr. type player. In my opinion, that's what I think he's still in his band.
It's kind of no reason for him to be at college though, because he already set for life whether he playing the NBA or not. So you might as well, go do what you do in the G League.
Yeah, but they didn't play him in the G League enough this year. He wasted a lot of time on the season just sitting on the bench with the big team.
Yeah, but when he did play G League though, he was getting off. Like I know, like y'all didn't see it, but he got off in the G League, and he averaged with 22, 5 and 5 or something like that in the G League.
Yeah, he was playing pretty good in the G League.
So I think for me, watching him from summer league to now, I've seen improvement, and I've seen the kind of improvement. Like let's take away that is Bronny James. The improvement I would have liked to see for somebody who was taken as the 55th pick, I think he's done that. If you're just looking at him as the 55th pick in the draft, I think what we got him for, and I've seen the stats on the guys who were like 3 in front of him and 3 behind him, they not doing like super crazy better than him or nothing. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So to me, I don't compare him to like, oh, he's LeBron's son. I compare him to the other draft picks around him. And in the class of draft picks around him, he's doing pretty good. And I think one of the things I've seen, even in yesterday, and even though he didn't score that much, he has he has a habit of being hesitant and turning that corner. But once he's not hesitant to turn that corner, he looks really good. So I think once he gets over that, I think you're going to see him go to another level. But like Speed said, that's something that he's going to get being in the G League.
And I think if his daddy didn't put so much pressure on him, we wouldn't even be talking about him like this, dog. It'd just be like whatever. But since his daddy made that statement about him being better than half the players in the league, that put a little bit too much pressure on, bro.
He put too much chip. He put too much dip on that chip right there. He put too much dip on the chip, and it hurt Bronny. But like I said, watching him from a subjective standpoint, as a 55th pick in the draft, I'm like, he does what you think a 55th pick in the draft would do.
But would you say that you're being a little too generous? Because how many teams are playing players drafted 50 plus?
No, I'm thinking about who he played, nigga. He played the last 3 minutes of the game. Where other 55th picks, like where other.
It's garbage time. That's considered garbage time.
So so we're wasting time talking about him.
Pretty much. I said, I don't think you would talk about it if you were LeBron's son.
Yeah, but
you would just be like, because I don't think nobody talks about the 55th pick. If you look back, I think the most quality 55th pick out of all of the NBA was what's the little guard from Australia? Patty Mills.
Yeah, Patty Mills. That's it.
Patty Mills is the best. You're still the best 55th pick ever in the NBA was Patty Mills.
And he coming in playing about 3 minutes a game now with the Clippers.
Could never want to pass it to him at all. He'd definitely be trading all.
Oh yeah, y'all moving him. Y'all did him dirty.
No, we did. We tried to get big man. It just didn't go through. What was dirty is not going through. But I don't think we did him dirty. I'm glad we got him back.
But not you per se. I'm just saying that whole situation. Like
that situation was trash. I agree.
Like I don't understand. Like, did they not do a physical of Mark Williams? Did they not know that?
I think they realized they gave up too much and was like Mark Williams hurt too much. That's what I think. Honestly, keeping it 100 with y'all, keeping it a buck.
They kept trying to get back at him. Like, hey, look, we took a physical. The Lakers lying about that physical, man. I started to believe him, man.
Yeah, I think that's really what it was. They had regrets, and they was like they found their way out. Like we gave up too much for him.
What was the original trade?
It was Connect, Cam Reddish, and a first rounder. That's too much.
No, it's 2 first rounders.
Yeah, 2 first rounders. Yeah, there you go. 2 first rounders. That's what it was. 2 first rounders.
I'm gonna tell you what happened.
Connect.
I'm gonna tell you what happened when they made the trade for Mark Williams. And everybody was like, "That's more than they gave up for Luka." And everybody was already a little skeptical about that Luka deal. They was like, "Oh yeah, we should probably not do this trade because this looks real funny that we giving up more for Mark Williams than we did to get Luka."
First of all, it's not more because there's no AD in the Mark Williams trade. Because you gave an AD and Max Christie.
If you're not getting at least Austin Reeves back in that trade too, no.
Yeah, but you can't say they gave up more for Mark Williams.
They gave up more draft picks. They gave up more draft picks for Mark Williams.
More draft picks is not more though. Like they got AD and Max Christie and a draft pick.
Yeah, and if other teams would have bid for Luka, if the other teams would have known he was available, they would have got way more. They would have got way more for Luka.
I get that, but I'm just talking about what you said that they gave the theory. Your theory don't hold water because you can't say we gave up more when we gave up Anthony Davis and Max Christie and a first rounder for Cam. And they had Cam Reddish and Don Connect. There's no more there. It's just not. It's just that theory don't really hold it because there's no more there to say that they gave up more for him than they gave for Luka. That's just not factually correct. Like,
yeah, I don't know about that, but all right.
Nigga, what player is bigger than AD in the trade to Mark Williams?
But you still talking about a 32-year-old AD for a 25-year-old dude that's in his prime.
Doesn't matter. AD is still one of the top 10 players right now. What player is bigger than AD in that draft?
Hold up. Switch it up. So if you're the Mavericks and you're a Mavericks GM, would you trade Luka for AD?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think
that was the dumbest trade ever.
Did it, but I'm just saying AD is still a top 10 player. Like we ain't gonna act like Connect or Cam Reddish is close to giving up AD. Like that's just crazy.
Hey, wait, speaking of AD, you saw the video of him giving LeBron the middle finger?
Yeah.
And LeBron turned around like
they just didn't want to pay Luka. Like bottom line, they didn't want to pay Luka that max. They didn't want to give him $300 million.
I mean, I see where they're coming from because because he's always overweight, and then investing that much.
Nigga take you to the final. Oh well,
man. That hey.
Them motherfuckers for not giving her that casino, dog.
I would put some incentive clause like you got to do this, you got to hit this, in order to get that.
You ain't heard nothing about his weight till they traded him. Not from Dallas. You ain't heard nothing about his
weight.
No.
The weight thing has been. If you look at Luka in his rookie year to where he is now, the weight has always been a discussion about him.
Yeah,
which is why you see something like Michael Finley. When you saw like Michael Finley snatch that beer from him during the celebration, that has been talked in Dallas for a while. It's just nobody pays attention to Dallas nationally. Like you don't hear Dallas being talked about on, all the sports shows and all that. But the weight thing has always been a thing with Luka. They've always talked about that.
I don't think to the point where they're like, we're gonna trade him if he, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know. Whatever. I'm glad we got him. So that was the problem thing. I'll take little fat Luka doing what he do. I'll take little fat Luka doing what he do. But like Speed said, it wasn't about the weight. It was literally about she wants to move the team to Vegas, and she like, if y'all don't let me move the team to Vegas, and I'll just destroy the team to drop the value, so then y'all won't care about us moving to Vegas.
Man, I believe that theory.
Jake said Jordan smoked cigars and drank and gambled his way to 2 3-peats.
But Jordan was also in tip-top shape.
Yeah. But like I said, if Luka putting up 30 and 9 on niggas out of shape, bro, I'll take it.
Mm-hmm.
You tell me you won't take it.
No, but I'm gonna tell you what you will see in the playoffs, and you've seen it even in Dallas, is the way that it affects the way that Luka not being in shape when he comes into the season, it always affects him late in the year because he'll have like listen, no. Let
Come
me
on,
finish.
Daniel.
No,
Look
let me
at
finish.
Luka actually plays better in the playoffs. You can't use that
No,
argument when his numbers get better. In the
can I
playoffs.
finish? Can I finish? Luka will have great first halves deep in the playoffs, and he'll tail off in the second half. And that's been ever since the Clippers was playing him in the first. Like even when he played the Clippers in those second round series, Luka will be gassed by the time the fourth quarter comes, and he's not the same. He's not the same player because he's not in shape. He doesn't have the conditioning to play.
All right, this who won?
Clippers beat them twice. Dallas won once in the series.
You know why Dallas ended up winning? Because Luka could rest a little bit. He had Kyrie Irving, dog. He's gonna have Reeves. He's gonna have LeBron right now, dog. He's not gonna have to carry the whole load by himself.
I hate LeBron.
Yeah, I just don't think his condition is as big a deal people try to make it to be. I don't. Especially like I said, if your numbers get better in the playoffs, it's not conditioning. If he had a big drop off in his numbers in the playoffs, then okay. But his numbers go up in the playoffs, and like Speed said, they go up. And then once he got Kyrie, he didn't have to carry the load. Because remember, he would literally carry the load by himself. It was him and who was that center dude, Speed?
Oh, Lively.
No, it was earlier the light skinned dude.
Luka had players he could rest with. He just didn't give
It was Lively.
He had Jalen.
Lively was a rookie when the year you're talking about.
You're talking about. Oh, I know you're talking about.
He had Porzingis.
No,
they had Porzingis. They had Kleber.
It was
Jalen Brunson.
But when he was there, they had Porzingis. Porzingis was the center, and they couldn't get nothing done. Porzingis was injured half the damn time. Even when he was playing, he was injured.
Can we admit that Porzingis has been a little bit of a disappointment?
Yeah, for sure. I thought Porzingis was gonna be that guy. But we'll see. We'll see. We're gonna see what Luke's gonna do in the playoffs. We're gonna see what Chubb's gonna do in the playoffs. All right, well, maybe midway through the playoffs, we'll do another one. Midway through the playoffs, we'll jump on and do an update if y'all up for it.
I'm always up for talking sports.
Yeah. Midway through the playoffs, we'll see what everybody's talking about, see how y'all feeling about y'all predictions, if y'all gonna stick with them, if y'all want to move them around and all that. All right.
Sir.
Until next time, this is Worldwide Lakers Talk with some Clipper fans and a Nomad.
LeBron hater.
And the Nomad. So we're gonna see y'all. We're gonna do another playoff run with everybody. All right, y'all. We'll see y'all next time.
Please believe us, we're underdogs and overachievers. But like a closed fist all together, no one can beat us. It's getting heated, all my energy's been depleted. I leave it all out on the floor because we need it. Rising to the occasion, we go in with guns a-blazing, because we all know that it's ours to go and get for the taking. History making, high risk and high stakes. Where the winner takes, all that he can take. No breaks, we only go hard, no taking off. Either giving to the swift or the strong, never the soft, not taking a loss. Because we only come to win, and right after this we coming back to do it all again. We gonna make it, even though we had our back to the ground. We building back up and we gon' be around. Yeah, it took some time to figure it out. Somehow, it's like we gonna make it. Looks like we gonna make it. Looks like we gonna moving, thought we couldn't do it.